It is that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. Michael's got his hat once again. The tinsel's back. That's as good as you're going to get from me. But all that means is that we're at the end of the year. We have a bunch of like little tier lists and rankings to go through. I've already done my most disappointing game of 2023. I made that video a couple of days ago. It'll be pinned down below. Today, it's positive vibes only, baby. These are my favourite video games of 2023. Two standard disclaimers. First of all, this ain't the factual list, what I think is the best kind of thing. This is just my favourite video games of the year. Please tell me yours down below. And while you're down there, the second thing is I haven't played every single game this year, but if there's something not on this list that your boy should check out, please let me know while you're down there. And now, let's do this. I do have one weird little honourable mention, and it's to Modern Warfare 3. I can't lie, I'm enjoying the multiplayer quite a lot. I love going back to Terminal, Scrapyard, and just, I don't know, I really like it more than Modern Warfare 2's online. So, yeah, honourable mention, Modern Warfare 3. There you go. Now let's start the list. I do have 7 big boy games, so I guess coming in at number 7 is Hogwarts Legacy. It's definitely not flawless, but it's by far the best Harry Potter game that we've got ever so far. I do like that it's back in the day, so you make your character. The story is pretty good. I think it's the best they could do with like the limitations of not like butchering the lore and stuff. The only actual one thing that let me down is like the third act with the finale. I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry, there'll be no spoilers in this video, but it just didn't land how I wanted it to land. It's a little bit underwhelming, I think is the right word to use. And also the fact that you can literally start destroying stuff in Hogwarts Castle and none of the kids react. They're the only two things that I actually didn't like about the game, but everything else was bloody good. I love being a member of Slytherin, going to their house, the dorm room. It was so sick to see, especially in video game format, because you can like properly explore everything. Huge amount of spells, which is very, very nice. I loved the broom stuff. That was probably my favourite bit of the entire game. Just flying around Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, the Forbidden Forest, and there's a lot of other areas. Again, I'm not going to spoil it. Just, it felt real, alive. It felt big. Do you know what I mean? Hogwarts is big. The world of Harry Potter is big, and this is probably the best version we're ever going to get until if they do ever make like Hogwarts Legacy 2, which I'm sure they probably will. Really, really enjoyed the game. It would be a little bit higher up if those two things weren't little bits of letdowns, but overall, man, I still gave Hogwarts Legacy 8 out of 10. It's very, very sick. Coming in number 6 is Mortal Kombat 1. The boy's favourite fighting game returns in this kind of like reboot, alternate timeline thing, which obviously if you played the last game, you know what's up. I bloody loved it, mate. I loved it. In fact, the only thing, weirdly, that was a disappointment is I personally felt it was too easy. I didn't lose a single fight. I think I lost one round in like the second to last fight because I was so just chilling. And when I lost that round, I went beast mode and just destroyed everyone. It was too easy. That's about it. Everything else is bloody flawless, man. The fatalities, they are so, so good. The gameplay's improved. I actually really got invested in the story. I think the DLC characters, so far at the time of this recording, we actually only have Omni-Man, which is funny to say that we only have Omni-Man. He's a huge deal, man. I love Invincible. Also got Peacemaker coming, Quan Chi, the trailer's out now, currently at the time of this recording. And the big one, mate, Homelander. One of my favourite villains of all time. The Boys are my favourite show ever. He'll blatantly be the last one, but I'm here for it, man. I thought the gameplay was very good. Graphics are great. X-rays. I have no complaints other than the fact that for me, it was too easy. However, to balance it, I did speak to like other people who are very like more casual with fighting games, but they just like Mortal Kombat. They felt like the difficulty was fine. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Coming in number 5, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Fallen Order is one of my favourite Star Wars games ever. It's weird because the story's not as good in this one compared to the other one, but everything else is legions better, man. Different combat styles. You got one now where you got a pistol. That's like my personal favourite one. You got the big crossguard version. Cal is even stronger now. The force powers are amazing, but it never feels too much like Star Wars Unleashed, even though that was so good, those games, man. But Starkiller is way too powerful. He's never going to be canon ever. It felt believable for the amount of time between the first game and here, how much he's progressed. I love the characters, man. The world, your new like base, the ships. It's a bloody good Star Wars game. In fact, like if I had to pick, this is definitely the better game. It's just the story's not as good, but again, everything else is bloody flawless. I actually also felt that this was marginally harder than the other game, which is opposite to what the thing with Mortal Kombat 1 had, but it was never too hard kind of thing. It had a very, very good balance. When you got up against bosses who should be very hard, they felt very hard. Great game. Genuinely zero complaints other than the tiny nitpick thing in the story. Score-wise, by the way, for Mortal Kombat, it's an 8.5. This is a 9 out of 10 game. I think it is nearly God tier. It's going to be amazing when the third game comes out and we have a trilogy of back-to-back bangers. As a Star Wars fan, this makes me very, very happy. Coming in 4th place is Cyberpunk 2077. I know this came out ages ago, but with the Phantom Liberty DLC and the patch 2.0, I genuinely can't believe how good this game is now. Everything is better. The combat, the skill tree, oh, they made it so good now. Not to mention, just throwing it out there, the Phantom Liberty DLC is literally God tier. I promise you, it's 10 out of 10. The world, the environment, parts of the story have changed a little bit. Just the way people interact to certain things. Everything across the board is like it's just like a new game now. Everything's improved. It's like a new game. This is the perfect time to play Cyberpunk if you've never played it. Just go online, check out a little bit of gameplay, man, or go to Twitch, whatever you want to do. Just see if you like that type of thing. It's so good, right? This now would be in my top 50 favourite games of all time. I made that video earlier this year. Obviously, this wasn't on the list because at the time, it was bloody broken. It was a mess. I genuinely can't believe how good this game is now. Truly, if you haven't played it, go and check it out. I promise you, man, respect the CD Projekt Red. They learn from the mistakes. Don't drop it when it's not finished. But how it is now, yeah, it's God tier. I'm saying this is a 10 out of 10 God tier game now. Check it out. Coming in number 3 is Spider-Man 2. The perfect sequel to the perfect first game. Now you've got Spider-Man and Miles. You can play both of them at the same time, which is so sick. Each of them having their own story, their own powers. They interlink. You can bump into them into the world, which, by the way, the world now is insanely detailed, mate. Just the way you can like glide through the air and stuff, it makes going through New York so amazing. I never once used the fast travel, even though the mechanic of the fast travel, go check it out on YouTube, I won't spoil it. It's actually really, really sick. It's no longer like he goes in the tube and it's a loading screen. It is so sick now. But going through the city was amazing, not to mention the story is so good, man. I said this now 5 times and I'm gonna say it again. Number 6. Can we get an F in chat and a rest in peace to the Kraven the Hunter movie? Because Kraven the Hunter, a villain that I genuinely do not give a single shit about. He was so good in this game that that movie that's coming out next year, it's dead. R.I.P. Gone. And speaking of in the bin films, Venom 1 and 2, this is Venom. He's huge, he's menacing, he's amazing, man. Just one of my favourite villains in Marvel ever, and he's done to perfection in Spider-Man 2. I know it's been out a while, but I'm not going to spoil anything, but just for the Venom thing, this game is worth it. Story's so good. I love the symbiote stuff. You also got stuff with the Lizard. You got Harry returning. You don't know what's going on with his stuff. And of course, you have the black suit Spider-Man and the conflict then. Just Miles looking like Peter's changing as a person. I loved it. My favourite Spider-Man suit ever. One of my favourite villains ever, Venom. 10 out of 10, God tier. I could have seen this win Game of the Year and I would have been absolutely fine, man. Bring on the third game. Coming in 2nd place is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Remake, remaster, however you want to call it. Big up Capcom. Respect. What they did with Resident Evil 2, I didn't think they were going to do it again, bro. That game was so good, man. The gameplay is amazing. Nemesis. Sorry, Mr. X. I'm getting confused with the third game because they did the same thing with the third game. Both of them, so good. I gave both of them 10 out of 10. Just some of the best, like, PlayStation gaming experiences I've personally had, and they're both in my top 50 games ever. But we really wasn't sure they're going to do it with Resident Evil 4. It's not that old, but like the gameplay's way outdated for Resident Evil 4. But just to throw it out there, when Resident Evil 4 came out, that was my favourite game of all time for a long time. Currently now, which is weird to say, I only know this because I made the video, but it's my 9th favourite game of all time. Bro, it could be higher now. I'm not even joking. Again, this could have won Game of the Year. I would have been totally fine with it. The visuals are bloody gorgeous, mate, as Resident Evil 2 and 3 are. It looks so good. They've also upped the horror in certain bits, which I never really felt Resident Evil 4 to be that scary, but the horror in here, they've improved it. Love that. But the gameplay is the big one, man. You can have the graphics, the story's pretty much the same. You can change the cutscenes, you can do all that stuff, man, but the gameplay is the most important thing in Resident Evil 4, and it is so good. So unbelievably good. I was actually sad when I finished it, because I just want to keep playing it, and then Spider-Man 2 came out, so I never went back to it. But yeah, again, if this one Game of the Year, I would have been totally fine. It's one of my favourite games of all time, but now we've arrived at the first place, mate. This game, ladies and gentlemen, give you a bit of backstory. First of all, it's Baldur's Gate 3, spoiler alert. Just to really hammer this home, yeah? I never played the first game, never played the second game. I have never, for 1 single second, played D&D. I don't even know the rules of D&D. I've never played a turn-based game, video game before. I can't believe how good this is. I'm gonna just say this with chest, mate, yeah? I haven't even finished it. I've done like 95 hours. I'm doing something in this game that I've never done in any video game ever. I'm playing 3 characters at the same time. 3 playthroughs, and I've nearly done 100 hours. I'm nowhere near finishing any of them, bro. The choices, the dialogue, the characters, the gameplay, turn-based stuff is so sick. You need to really think about what you're going to do, man, or you might F it up and your whole party's dead. By the way, if they die, the game just continues. There's no try again thing. It's so good. The world feels real. I love the character creations. I love the people in this universe. I love the combat. I'm a devil person, a tiefling who's a sorcerer who has this crazy magic. And then on my other playthrough, I'm a dragonborn wizard using necromancy to just build an army of the dead. And I'm using something called the Dark Urge, where you have this like side thing that this evil presence is telling you to just basically kill everyone. And the third playthrough, I'm a halfling elf druid, so I can transform into animals. Every one of them playthroughs is so different. And the world is so big. To say it with chest, ladies and gentlemen, I think right now, this is in my top 5 favourite video games of all time. I'm not joking. Obviously, this one game of the year, I can see why. The only thing stopping people from understanding how good this is, they've never played it. Like me. I was ignorant. It came out, I just blanked it. I was like, I ain't played 1 and 2. I never played D&D. Just allow it. How wrong I was. Just to give you an idea of the scope of this game. This is not a spoiler, I promise you. One of the companions with you, which you have a bunch of them, his name's Asterion. By the way, he actually won video game like Character of the Year at the Game Awards. Very sick. Deserved it. Someone on YouTube played all character things and done all different scenario stuff and just recorded lines of dialogue, cutscenes where Asterion's talking, and they put it in one video. That video, and this is one companion of many, that one video is 9 hours on YouTube. That just goes to show how long this game took to make, the time, the care. Just, it's a flawless, beyond God tier game. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if I missed anything and you think like I would really like it, man, please do let me know down below. That'd be really awesome. Hopefully this video ain't too long, but I love video games, man. I had to just say all this with chest. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate you all. See you in a bit. Peace.